Well, for many people, tonight is one of the most eagerly anticipated of the year. But for others, Guy Fawkes celebrations are an unnecessary and annoying safety risk to people, property and pets. New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters falls into the latter group, and he's introduced a members' bill to ban the public sale and use of fireworks. In fact, he told me he'll make it a bottom line at the next election. I began by asking him why, after so many years in Parliament, he's finally decided enough is enough.
That's a good question. You know, over the years we've sort of been very tolerant, and all of us remember what it was like when we were children, but the things were far better organised then, and there was parental control, and fireworks would be in places very much understanding the rural nature of this country and animals and the possibility of animals being harmed. But that's gone out the window of late, and all sorts of things are happening. I've seen horses ripped apart and beyond being saved in wire mesh where they've been caught in panicking from fireworks. I've seen dogs and cats right out of their mind, never leaving home and not coming back for weeks. All sorts of things are happening these days, and we are saying, frankly, enough's enough. You've got the havoc created by the need for fire engines to attend to fires started this way. You've got all sorts of fires that started this way. You've got all sorts of ACC costs, well over millions and millions of dollars as a consequence of this. And every year it just compounds. And so we are saying, surely the public-approved display should be the limit of that, and the kind of behaviour that you see in far too many towns and cities and countryside in New Zealand should stop.
There is a concern, and you did mention it in your press release, that this could be considered to be the action of a nanny state to ban fireworks sales. What do you say to that?
Well, I know people are going to. Well, I know people are going to talk about their freedom, but liberty is not licence, and there's been a massive licence and abuse of freedom on this matter, to the great cost of the taxpayer and to the great cost to animal happiness and our responsibilities to animals. What about that responsibility? Ask the SPCA whether they support this or not.
So this is a New Zealand First members bill, which I understand would need to be pulled from the ballot box to go through the parliamentary process. However, if you're in a position to potentially negotiate a coalition again after next year's election, would this be a high priority?
You have just outlined what will be a bottom line. We don't usually do bottom lines, but this logical, plain common sense, supported by so many New Zealanders, is going to be a bottom line, of course, and we've got a stack of other bottom lines as well. Our job is to make sure we've got enough people out there voting for us to make these policies all laid out, law already written, well before the election, to make them reality. So
you're just confirming there that this would be an absolute bottom line for New Zealand First going into any coalition negotiations after the election next year to ban the public sale and use of fireworks?
Exactly. I mean, I hate to say it's a bottom line in this context. It's just so fundamental, and there are other huge issues to consider in negotiations. But we'll have a whole list of this type, and they'll be ticked off. Otherwise, we will not be going into a coalition.
Okay, that's interesting. I think that might be the first one for the 2026 election.
Well, just one thing
for letting us know.
Yeah, just one thing. Just one thing. You can't find any political party that's kept its promise over the years like New Zealand First has, and this is going to be another one.
When would you like to see it come into effect? When's the earliest you think it could come into effect?
Well, the next election, I think, has got a possibility. It may be on the 7th of November. That'll be 2 days after Guy Fawkes. Possibly we will have it done before that Christmas, so we don't repeat the stuff.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. New Zealand First leader Winston Peters there. Thank you for talking with us today. Tēnā koe.